Hello and welcome to Bounding into Comics. My name is John Trent. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief at Bounding into Comics. And today I got a story about The Lord of the Rings and Amazon's upcoming new television show. So Amazon's upcoming The Lord of the Rings showrunners, J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, recently released a joint statement describing J.R.R. Tolkien's fantasy franchise as, quote, epic, diverse, and filled with heart. The statement came amid a huge cast announcement that included 20 new cast members to the show. As reported by The Hollywood Reporter, Payne and McKay stated, quote, "The world that J.R.R. Tolkien created is epic, diverse, and filled with heart. These extraordinarily talented performers hailing from across the globe represent the culmination of a multi-year search to find brilliant and unique artists to bring that world to life anew." They added, "The international cast of Amazon's The Lord of the Rings series is more than just an ensemble. It is a family. We are thrilled to welcome each of them to Middle-earth." In a letter numbered 142 to Father Robert Murray, Tolkien had a different way of describing his work. This is what he wrote. "The Lord of the Rings is, of course, a fundamentally religious and Catholic work, unconsciously so at first, but consciously in the revision. That is why I have not put in or have cut out practically all references to anything like religion, to cults or practices in the imaginary world, for the religious element is absorbed into the story and the symbolism." He went on to say, "However, that is very clumsily put and sounds more self-important than I feel. For as a matter of fact, I have consciously planned very little and should chiefly be grateful for having been brought up, since I was 8, in a faith that has nourished me and taught me all the little that I know, and that I owe to my mother, who clung to her conversion and died young, largely through the hardships of poverty resulting from it." So the cast announcements were made by a sci-fi freelance writer, Karama Horn, who goes by The Blurred Girl on Twitter, and she announced that the cast includes Cynthia Adai Robinson, Maxim Baldry, Ian Blackburn, Kip Chapman, Anthony Crum, Maxine Cunliffe, Tristan Gravel, Lenny Henry, Thusithia Jaya Sundara, Fabian McCallum, Simon Merrills, Jeff Morrell, Peter Mullen, Lloyd Owen, Augustus Prue, Peter Tate, Alex Tarrant, Leon Wadham, Benjamin Walk, and Sarah Zwangobani. Horn wrote on Twitter, "So excited to partner with The Lord of the Rings on Prime to announce the new cast members for the series." She added, "Set in the Second Age, an era not in the films, it's a great chance to introduce the universe to new fans, and just look at this cast." Who these actors will be playing was not revealed, as the Amazon team attempts to keep the show under wraps. As for the showrunners, The Hollywood Reporter credits them with work on Star Trek IV, a film that was never actually made. If you look them up on IMDb, Patrick McKay has an uncredited writer credit for Star Trek Beyond and an early screenplay writing credit for a new Flash Gordon film, as well as Lord of the Rings writing and producing credit. He has no actual credits to his name on the Amazon-owned website, meaning this would be his first real job, it seems like, in Hollywood. J.D. Payne pretty much has the same thing. He's listed as John D. Payne on IMDb. Like McKay, he has an uncredited writer credit for Star Trek Beyond and a credit for an early screenplay for the Flash Gordon film, along with the Lord of the Rings writer and producer credit. Again, like I said, like McKay, he has no other actual credits. So, as The Blurred Girl says here that it's going to be taking place in the Second Age, we do have some information on what that is. And by information, I mean rumors. Those rumors come from The One Ring, which, back during San Diego Comic-Con, which was back at the end of July. They reported that the show would feature Galadriel, Elrond, and Sauron, with The One Ring's Kathy Udvoch speculating on what she believes the show will focus on. So she said, "As far as storylines, I'm still fond of the fall of Numenor, but obviously we have to have Sauron meddling in people's lives in Numenor for that to fall, for them to happen." She continues, "So obviously the building of the rings for me is a story I feel either the forging of the rings or the temptation and the fall of Numenor is the story we're going to end up getting." Her co-host, Cliff Broadway, would add, I would think so too, since the second age goes across so many thousands of years. Perhaps they'll do some shuffling of the timeline and we'll get some flashbacks that will tell us about the establishment of Numenor. He then added, but my instincts are telling me they are going to go right towards the end of that era with Annatar appearing, his relationship with Celebrimbor, the elves in Harland, and their robust relationship with the dwarves of Moria at the time. He then stated, I believe we will learn a lot more about Galadriel, Celeborn, and Gil-galad, characters we have never seen. We see Gil-galad for maybe 3 or 4 seconds in the Fellowship of the Ring and his spear, Aeglas. He then went on to speculate that the reason why many of the cast members are seen reading the Silmarillion is that they are doing it for research on the Akalabeth, which is the 4th part of the Silmarillion and the primary account of the downfall of Numenor. Fellow co-host John Garth pretty much concurred with Broadway, saying, well, it is the only thing that would be relevant unless you're going to dig even further into the First Age. So that's kind of where the rumors and speculation is at on what kind of story the show will focus on. There has been no actual details about what the show will be about, aside from the fact that it's going to be taking place in the Second Age. Amazon has also not released or has not announced a release date for the show. So what do you guys make of this statement from the showrunners? What do you make of the showrunners' seemingly complete lack of experience? Does this garner faith with the show? What do you guys make of the term diversity, diverse that they're using in this statement? To me, that usually is a code word for woke. Anytime a Hollywood production uses it, that's usually what it means. It usually means that that's what they're putting over a real story. That's what their focus is, so they don't really have focus on the actual story. So I don't think that's a really good sign for the show. Maybe they will prove me wrong. We'll see when they actually announce release date and the show comes to Amazon. But let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. My name is John Trent, and you've been watching Bounding Into Comics. I'll have another video for you tomorrow.